G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we will be looking at the MP12 Lambor, aka Sideswipe. Of course, Lambor being the Japanese name for the character. And this is the original MP12 release. It hasn't got the, I think it's the MP12 Plus. I do not have the MP12G, which is the Generation 2 mold. I think it's MP14 or 16, I'm not sure. The Red Alert version. I do not have that one either, although I would really like a Red Alert. And here we have, try and make sure everything's all in place. Here we have Sideswipe. Here's a nice looking Lamborghini. I do not know exactly which one. So, I don't know, Countach, haven't got a clue. No, it's Lamborghini. Obviously with this version, the Autobot symbol is a lot bigger. We have blue translucent windows. He does have a tiny incy-wincy spot for a Lamborghini logo, which of course, for some reason they didn't do, considering it's an official one. I don't know why they didn't. I guess maybe it's too small. We have a lot of plastic in this guy. I don't think he's got too much paint. He does have some die cast, so he does have a little bit of paint. But I think most of it is just red plastic. So this obviously is the earlier designs of the Masterpiece figures. I got this guy from the little toy company. Alright, so I don't want to disrespect anyone that I order figures from. So what I'm about to say is not intentionally disrespectful to them. I bought a lot of my Masterpiece figures from the little toy company. They were very effective back when I first started my collections. But the golden rule with them is never pre-order, because I think I pre-ordered once from them and I had trouble getting it. It took forever and a day, despite the fact I saw the figures on other locations. I can't remember which one it was that I pre-ordered. But a lot of people, of course, said, you know, don't do it anyway. And a lot of people used to give them shit for it. I used to stand up a lot for them. Still think they're a fine toy company, but honestly, I would rather go to Savvy Toys or Robo Toys at this point, maybe even Big Bad Toy Store or something, and get my Masterpieces. Nowadays, not that I really get a lot of Masterpieces nowadays, I get mostly third-party figures. But rambling done. I do want to point this out, and I'll probably show this when I do my Fans Toys breakdown, but these rims are the same. Pretty close to the same. I think they're 4 holes instead of 5. So yeah. Also, the tires are plastic. There is no rubber on these. They're all plastic. Underneath's not too bad. So yeah, from the back, and we have lights picked out, and that one's a little bit off center. There we go. It has some smoke mufflers. These do not pop up. I do have the Sunstreaker, but I didn't feel like transforming him. So there we go. So first comparison, there he is with LG Windblade. She's a smidgen longer because of the nose cone. Obviously she's wider because of the wings, and she's a little bit taller, but what are you going to do? And the only other real comparison for the time being, here we have G1 Red Alert, which I got from a friend many years ago, and ironically the Masterpiece has I wouldn't say tendencies, has moves that are very reminiscent of the G1 toy. And last but not least, we do have his shoulder gun and his pistol, whatever you want to call it, blaster, which can be used in vehicle mode. Obviously you just plug that in the side, and there's a button here, and you just line it up, and there we go. Sideswipe got his gun on his roof, which I reckon looks stupid. Okay, let's get down to transformation. So first things first, we're going to drop the bonnet a bit, which will separate the front. That will give us some leverage to get the roof up. I'm just going to fiddle with it to get the roof up just sort of pop up without popping it off, and that will bring it forward, just give us a bit of clearance for the feet. Next, we're going to lift up this side of the spoiler. That is a tabbing point. We have the tab here and that there, which if you obviously try the other way, it's not going to work. So we're going to start by lifting up this piece here, which is probably tabbed in, and that's just going to give us a little bit more clearance. Come under here and pull that out. We're then going to untab the foot and pull back a little bit, not all the way, just a bit. So I'll get it untabbed first. So just about there will do for the moment. So what we're going to do then is we're going to push this down, so it's going to flip around. We're going to fold this back on itself, and then we're going to fold that all the way around, straighten it out. You're going to come in here, there's this grey, dark grey piece, which we'll just pull out, plug into here. Come on. I know you've got a tabbing point. There we go. Just sort of plugs in the side as well. That's going to fold up to cover that gap. Pull the foot forward, that will probably flip out the heel. And then you're going to fold the spoiler in place. And there we go, we have one leg all done. And there we go, we have two legs. Now I think we'll lift the camera just a little bit so we can actually show the upper body. Next, we're just going to flip this down to give him his crutch piece. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to flip these wheels in just to get them out of the way. Come on, get under there. There we go. So just bring them all the way in the middle, which will give us clearance for the bonnet later. Next, you're going to come in here and this is going to flip up here, out here. So this side of, oh, come on, keep me focused. This will just fold in. So what we're going to do is stretch out the arm like so. We're going to rotate that most of the way and then, whoops, rotate that most of the way and then rotate it forward. So the screws are at the back. You're then going to rotate the bicep to get it the right way around and then come back here, open this up, flip out the hand and close that back up again. There's no real, there's not really a locking point for the hand, so it will wobble a little bit, but that's all right. Just keep that straight. And then we can do the same thing with the other arm. Right, so that is two arms done. Now we're going to deal with his midsection. So what's going to happen is this is going to fold in on itself. No, it's not. There we go. So what we want is we want this tab, this port to go onto here. So we just need to keep with it. Come on. Where are you? I know, there we go. So it'll go back on itself a little bit. It's been a long while since I've transformed this. So there's a double hinge here. So you sort of hinge it back so it goes in this groove. That comes around and you should be able to line up with that tab if it's sitting right, there we go. Just have to go a little bit further down. That tab's in place and that connects the piece to the waist. All right, we might as well finish with the head. You just flip up that bit, which fills in Sideswipe's head. Then we'll come back here and you want to fold in the doors, the windows, but then you want to sort of fold them out so that this hinge area is facing outwards. I won't bother cutting away. Do the same thing, just fold it in and fold it out. Bring it down, and there should be, I think, where is it? I know there's a tab here. I'm just trying to remember whereabouts it is. I think it might be on his back. Either way, it'll tab in place. If it pops in, you know you found the right spot. So there we go. And there we have Sideswipe in his robot mode. He looks really good. I'm pretty happy with how he is. Yes, he's not as articulate. He's not as amazing looking as his eventual counterparts, but hey, I was perfectly happy with him when I bought him. I'm perfectly happy now that I own it, that I've had him for years. So there we go. And of course, we can give him his guns, make him look proper. You can, of course, move this a bit, and that will plug into either side, here or here. I usually like it on the right side because I think that's more where he had it. Plus, it also generally hides that port. And of course, you can plug the gun in either hand. He has the traditional ports. You just plug it in your hand, close up, which he holds it okay, but not brilliant. So there we go. Now for articulation, his head can do a full 360. He can look up that far. He can look down that far. He can't do side to side because I think that's just whatever joint it's called. The arms can do a full 360. They can go up that far. It does technically have a double jointed hinge for the elbow, but it'd be on the wrong side, so you only get that far, although it does tend to activate. He does have bicep rotation. The wrists can rotate. They can move a little bit up and down due to the transformation joint and not really locking in. He has typewriter fingers. He only has the pin here, nothing in the knuckles or the thumb. He has waist rotation, but I think the backpack gets into it a little bit in the way. Legs can, you can move the cut piece and legs go forward that far. It can go back only that far until you hit the back. His legs can go out this far. They have waist, hip rotation. They can turn that far, and I will point out, yes, he's got a massive gap there, but back in the day when we still had masterpieces that had gaps in them, and now that's actually disconnected his leg. That's funny. Get that back up there. There we go. I think I've got it. Good. All right. So he has ankle pivot, can go in a little bit. His does have a long way down, but it's more transformation. Doesn't have a toe joint. He can move his heel if you really feel like you need to use that. And of course, you can move the spoiler if that is of any use to you as well. So there we go. So for size comparison, here he is with G1 Red Alert. Obviously he towers over, but as you can see, a lot of it is reminiscent of the G1 figure. Even the head comes out the same way, except it doesn't split in half. Here he is with MP10, obviously a lot taller than he is, but obviously the vehicle bots are a lot smaller than Prime, and honestly I don't think they didn't really get much bigger either. And here he is with Fans Toys Spoiler, aka their breakdown. And honestly, the transformation, though different, they are more or less the same vehicle. And considering they actually transform, and I will show this better in when I do breakdowns video, they more or less end up the same size in vehicle mode, and yet Fans Toys is obviously bigger. Now, admittedly, there is quite a number of years between Breakdown being released, which was only a couple of years ago, to when Sideswipe came out, which was, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe even 10 years ago. So there is definitely a difference. But thank you for watching. If you did like this, please leave me a like. If you didn't like it, leave me a dislike. Maybe leave me a comment. Maybe even subscribe. Yeah, it always helps out, and it just makes me know that you're enjoying these videos. But apart from that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.